Deep underground, the Jelly Belly factory, BB is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
And welcome back to Crabapple's own WSHIT. I'm Jim Myers, focusing on Education Week here at WSHIT. We have so many teachers to be proud of here in Crabapple, but none quite epitomizes the definition of kindness, caring, and love for our children like Rhonda McMillan. That's this year's Teacher of the Year. Rhonda doesn't know it, but we are going live into her classroom to take a sneak peek at what makes this teacher one of a kind.
Say it! No pomegranates! Come on! No pomegranates! No pomegranates! No pomegranates! None! I don't want them anywhere near here. Am I clear? Say the rule again. No pomegranates!
3rd grade teacher Rhonda McMillan, keeping our toddlers free from the scourge of pomegranates, one seed at a time. It takes a village to raise a child, and Rhonda, your deft hand, is exactly what this village needs. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
I was just checking with my computer up in my head. Yep, makes sense. When I used to snort a bunch of cocaine, it definitely affected me in one way, shape, or form. My nasal passages were not the same the next day. And the powder's about the same consistency, depending on who you get it from. If it's been stepped on, you know what I'm saying? If it's the chunky, then, then you're like, sweet, I'm going to be up till Tuesday. I'm going to fake a heart attack later on today. He goes to Lenox Mall, and they are just filming a day at Lenox Mall, right? Back in 1988. And he's just fascinated by everything. This is the most incredible mall I've ever seen in my entire life. Must be the biggest mall in the entire world. Must be, Yeah. He's like so like dry and entertaining. And people are staring at him. Not because he's hanging out with RuPaul or because he's gay or anything, but because he's got a camcorder right in his hands. They think he's a movie star or something. He got his license the day after freshman year started. And so his mom gave him this little minivan to drive around. A Mitsubishi minivan that was basically hollowed out in the middle. It had 2 captain's chairs and a bench in the back. And it was like, I remember being there that first day he was driving around
like
on his own.
A police van?
Almost, yeah. Or a pedophile van. I'm not sure which it was, but we were 15. We were just kids ourselves.
Wheels.
Yeah, it's wheels.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Dun, 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 dun. We're back. From the dead.
From the Teresa Caputo.
We've made it through our Teresa Caputo drama. Wow, people are upset.
Yeah?
People getting upset about that shit. The fuck? Yeah. This is a joke. I mean, it's not really a joke. I actually think she's a shitbag, windbag, but I mean, listen, I don't know Teresa Caputo personally. I mean, maybe she's a perfectly fine woman when she's not pretending to talk to dead people through that wig of hers, but is the only thing I see of her, she's a shitbag, windbag. That's all I care about. People got upset.
Feels scammy.
Please. It's like Bernie Madoff level bullshit.
Yeah.
And, people get upset about that. But we knew that. We knew that was going to be a lightning rod. Some of the things we talk about here were like, oh shit, people are going to get really pissed about that. We don't hear a fucking word. And then Teresa Caputo, of all things. The whole internet comes out of the woodwork. Fuck yeah. Jesus doesn't love you. Jesus doesn't love me.
I know.
Because of Teresa Caputo? What does that have to do with Jesus?
I know, right?
She didn't even use the word Jesus. But I do have to give credit to our good friend Draco Wolf. Draco Wolf is a commenter on Facebook. So somebody put, Jesus loves you. Like as if, I think she was saying it in a way. I'm assuming the comment, how I took the comment on YouTube was, Jesus loves you. Even though you're an asshole talking about, how spirits don't come to life. Whatever, right? As if that was going to hurt our feelings or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then Draco Wolf replied, Jesus does not love you. And then I said, well, that sucks because I was waiting on BTS tickets from him. And he said, well done, commercial break. You win my subscription.
Thank you,
Jocko
Jocko.
Wolf sounds like a 1980s bad action flick villain.
Uh-huh.
Like, Jocko Wolf is coming to get us. You have to fight Jocko Wolf in the final scene to win the woman. To win Sarah Jessica Parker or one of the other Brat Packers. Remember the Brat Packers?
Yes.
Emilio Estevez and the whole gang.
Emilio Estevez.
Hey, I'm Brian. This is Krissy and
Happy
New
New
Year
Year
to you. Welcome to the commercial break. It's episode Who Gives a Fuck. And it's episode Who Gives a Shit. We just know we're back here in the studio producing fantastic content for you, my friends, and welcome aboard. TCBpodcast.com is where you go. You can find out more about Krissy and I, read all the show notes. You can get access to our entire library there. I don't know how long it'll be up there, but for now it's there. So go ahead and do it. And please do us a favor. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe if you want to see what we look like. If you want to see what Krissy looks like, if you'd like to see what Krissy looks like, go ahead and subscribe at youtube.com/thecommercialbreak, at the commercial break on Instagram for exclusive content you can only find on Instagram and interaction, pure, unadulterated interaction with Krissy and I. Here's some really adulterated interaction. That's what I should have said. And here's some exciting news from the land of the commercial break. We will be doing live Clubhouse shows. That means we're going to record some episodes inside of Clubhouse in the second week in April. That is the week of the second one.
Yes.
I don't even know. I don't have a
week.
calendar. I don't keep it. It all runs together. The second full week, we're going to be doing shows during the weekdays. If you would like access to Clubhouse and you don't have it and you have an iPhone, you can get a hold of us through a DM on Instagram and we'll make sure that we get you an invite properly and appropriately. And if you're already in Clubhouse, at Brian Green, BryanGreen, or at TCB Krissy, Krissy. And then you can join the commercial break club when club members will be able to come in and interact with us during the show. We have some fun stuff lined up. It's a lot of fun.
That is going to be fun.
We tested it one time to make sure that the technology was there. We didn't have any followers or any club members at that point. And I think we had like one person creeping. Yeah. And I don't, based on the language they were using to address their name, I don't even think they spoke English. So they were probably like, very funny show, very funny.
It was Henry Fonda.
Yeah, Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda. I don't know where that guy is, but I'm sure he's going to come back with a vengeance one of these days.
Yes, that's the way he works.
I wanted to tell you that I have a raging toothache going on today.
Oh, those are the worst.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a dentist, and that dentist was not a very nice person. He actually was arrested for some kind of masochism with children. He was like putting water into the needle that supposedly had, Novocaine in it. It was like a whole...
People are crazy.
People are fucked up. They're really fucked up. And so this was my dentist when I was a kid. So I have a fear of dentists, very sensitive teeth. And so I like manicure my teeth. Every night I spend like 20 minutes on my teeth. Every morning I spend 20 minutes on my teeth. In the afternoon I brush after I eat because I don't want to go to the fucking dentist. I just don't. Not for anything except for a cleaning. And I got a fucking cavity. No. And man, does it hurt. It's like nothing like a hole in your tooth to brighten up your day.
Yeah. I've had one cavity, so I don't.
In your entire life? Mm-hmm. Holy shit. I had like one cavity a year going on there for like a 9-year stretch.
But I can only imagine.
Yeah, but
sensitivity.
It's awful. But I was avoiding the dentist for a while there. I'd be like, oh yeah, well yeah, really? A cleaning? I can't make it today. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't want to. Yeah, COVID. Back in 1984, COVID. I stumbled upon the most fascinating, and I'm just telling you that because if it sounds like I'm a little nasally or under the weather, I think it has to do with the fact that my tooth's been hurting for 48 straight hours.
Plus the pollen season.
Oh my God, it's just awful. Getting ready to happen. I already have like a quarter inch of pollen on my car.
I know.
So when we went out to the car this morning to take Matias to school, he kept on repeating amarillo, yellow, amarillo, yellow. He speaks Spanish too, and I was like, what is he looking at? And then I realized that he was looking at the windshield.
Oh,
it was yellow. Fucking disgusting, man. That shit gets in your nasal passages and screws all kind of shit up.
Yeah,
I love Atlanta, but I hate the pollen.
It's so pretty. Everything's
gorgeous.
Blooming. Gorgeous. I went on a walk this morning and everything's just birds are chirping and butterflies and so fun. But
yeah, you have these clouds of dust that are just following you around. Yes. It's crazy. Sometimes you can look in the trees. Like And it's the stuff
As
you
they
can
rustle?
Yeah, as they rustle, and it's really the pine. I guess they call it the pine. Is it the pine? Yeah, the pine pollen or whatever. It's the stuff you can see is not the bothersome stuff. It's the stuff you cannot see that's the bothersome stuff.
Realize.
I didn't. Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine that snorting all that pollen is like doesn't affect you in some way, shape, or form.
Oh.
I was just checking with my computer up in my head. Yep. Makes sense. When I used to snort a bunch of cocaine, it definitely affected me in one way, shape, or form. My nasal passages were not the same the next day. And the powder's about the same consistency, depending on who you get it from. If it's been stepped on, you know what I'm saying? If it's the chunky, then then you're like, sweet, I'm gonna be up till Tuesday.
Right.
I'm gonna fake a heart attack later on today. But sometimes you can walk, you can be driving. Like we'll go up to South Carolina sometime soon to visit my parents. And we'll just drive these, up in North Georgia where it's just lots of trees. That's all it is. And if it's a windy day, you can see clouds of yellow dust huge
really
clouds of yellow dust just traveling across the highway. It's insane. It's like snow. That's the best thing that you
do
can.
other parts of the country get it like us?
I gotta imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're known for it, but I gotta imagine. I don't remember this happening in Chicago.
Right.
No. I think it's places with pine trees, and I think southeast of the United States is pretty much where they grow natively here. And then we have the dogwoods, and those bloom too, and those are beautiful, but they also let off a lot of stink. So, hey, I wanted to tell you about this YouTube channel that I found.
Okay.
I don't have any clips of it because I don't think it's like comic material, even though a lot of it is very funny and interesting. I just, from a pure interest standpoint, I wanted to tell you about this YouTube channel I found. It's called 5 9th Avenue Project. The number 5 spelled out 9th Avenue Project. And there is a guy who lived here in Atlanta, or I think he actually lived in South Carolina, but was here in Atlanta quite frequently back in the mid and late 80s. And he would travel between New York and Atlanta with a young RuPaul.
Oh, wow.
Right? And some other, like Michael A. the guy who was throwing the parties, what do they call the party monster? That was throwing the parties back in the 80s that may or may not have murdered somebody.
Oh my God.
Do you remember?
No.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Okay, so you got to remember that this is the height of the AIDS epidemic, right? And this gentleman, who's a gay gentleman, is documenting every moment, it seems like, of his life for about 5 years on a VHS handheld, video recorder, camcorder. Yeah, like the big clunky kind.
Right.
And he's just, I mean, even though he's in the gay community and things are very lively and he's having a lot of fun, obviously, and he's hanging out with RuPaul, right? He's just like a normal Joe, but he is literally vlogging his entire life before you even know that vlogging is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
He's quite frank, and he's now being credited with being one of the first vloggers
I love
ever.
stuff like this. I love looking at pictures and videos from that era.
It is so fucking fast. I mean, the guy going to McDonald's is fucking fascinating. Him traveling in a car from New York to Atlanta is fucking fascinating. Him walking the streets of Atlanta back in the 80s is fucking fascinating. His entire life almost is documented. And I think they keep like releasing these new videos that they find, like edited or unedited. He releases there's a video of the day before he died.
Oh my
he died of a heart attack. But
this is like his family and friends.
Yeah, his friends. I think.
Put this together?
Yeah, I think his friends or his partner is the one who actually found all these videotapes and then decided to put them together.
Oh, I can't wait to
It
watch
is the
this.
most interesting thing in the world, and I shudder to think that only a couple 100,000 views have been had of the channel, because it really is the most fascinating reality show I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't stop watching these videos at night. I'm like, this is awesome. This is incredible. And I hope you find yourself hooked or addicted. And if you're interested, go watch it. This is a snapshot of what it's like to be a gay man in the 80s during the height of the AIDS epidemic. Though there's not a lot of conversation about that.
Right.
You can just take yourself back to that time when there's a lot of stress and fear going on in the community. He's going to these parties where Andy Warhol is, where the party monster is. He's in the nightlife of Atlanta, the drag queens that were happening at Backstreet, the famous club here in Atlanta. It is just so fucking entertaining that you can't help. And he's walking around with his camcorder. He goes to Lenox Mall. And they are just filming a day at Lenox Mall, right? Back in 1988. And he's just fascinated by everything. This is the most incredible mall I've ever seen in my entire life. Must be the biggest mall in the entire world. Must be, Yeah. He's like so like dry and entertaining. And people are staring at him. Not because he's hanging out with RuPaul or because he's gay or anything, but because he's got a camcorder right. in his hands. They think he's a movie star or something, yes. right? He's just like, people are like waving to him and he's like waving, hey, waving back. The thing is, he's carrying this thing and filming himself the entire time. Can you imagine just carrying a camcorder around, this heavy camcorder around for
things were big
hours
and
at a time? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so awesome. We thought that The Real World was the first reality show ever.
Yeah, this is it though.
Here's the part that sucks for everybody. And maybe it was meant to be this. Obviously, it was meant to be this way. He was working on a television deal to put these videotapes out there to the world. And apparently had codified some kind of television deal or was in deep talks to put these out to the world in some edited fashion. And he passed away at a young age.
Oh,
I know. Sad. But now we get to see like the unadulterated.
On. Yes, he lives on.
He lives on. And
work.
I just got to tell you, Krissy, I hope you get as hooked as I do. 9th Avenue Project. We are not sponsored by them. I am not saying this for any other reason, except I think that if you're into that kind of thing, there's hours and hours of wonderful entertainment. When I'm sitting here editing videos late until the night, I'm like, I gotta have a friend. I feel like he's my friend now.
Yeah.
You ever get that way?
Yes.
You ever started to get into a television show or like you're some kind of YouTuber and you're like, wow. Wonder what he's up to, right? Then you remember it's 1989. It's like, he's not around to hang out. Okay. I'm getting concerned.
Taking a breath.
I had to take a deep breath. I take a deep breath and my tooth hurts. I'm getting concerned about my children.
Oh.
Yes. I'm getting concerned about their dating lives.
It's kind of young to start worrying about that yet, but...
Well, I mean, it is.
Hi, Brian. It's your mom.
I feel like I'm my mom didn't give a shit who I dated. Never mind. My mom was not interested. She would invite people,
Please date my son.
Yeah, please date my son. I just need another friend. I need somebody else to talk to.
Hi. How are you and Brian doing? How's things going? Hey, Krissy.
If you were dating me back when I was 15 years old, it was likely your phone was going to ring.
Hi, Krissy. It's Mrs. Green. How are you?
Hi, Mrs. Green.
Hi. What are you doing?
A podcast.
A podcast. Oh, that sounds very interesting. It is 1996. Remember, there's no such thing as the internet. But okay, we'll suspend
Going to the
belief
mall.
for 1 second. Going to the mall. How are you and Brian doing?
Fantastic.
Oh, he's such a handsome young man, isn't he?
He is.
Looks exactly like his great Uncle Todd. Do you remember Uncle Todd? He was from Indiana. We call him Indiana Uncle Todd. Uncle Indiana Todd. Uncle Indiana Todd Jones. Just like the movie. Well, I just wanted to call and say hello. Yeah, want to go get your nails done next week?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to come on the porch and smoke cigarettes with me?
Sure.
Oh, it's so much fun. How old are you?
15.
Yeah, I started smoking when I was 12. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't tell your mom. I won't tell her you don't tell her. Do you want to go to Laura Ashley and try on dresses?
Oh, Laura Ashley.
Laura Ashley. They have the cutest little floral prints.
Sure.
Do you want a floral print moo with big shoulders that comes down to your ankles? All the girls are wearing them.
I'll pass on that one.
Aw, well, if you want to come over and tease your hair, I'll be happy to do that. You want to dye your hair?
Yes. Permit too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Looking for a new career? Welcome to Do HVAC Training Service Center in North Charleston. Enroll today in our comprehensive HVAC training hands-on field experience-based program, covering troubleshooting, maintenance, installation, and more on various HVAC systems and ductwork. We offer EPA and NATE preparation and testing, along with various certifications. Enjoy payment options. Achieve certification in under 5 months. Enroll now for your new journey of skill development and career advancement. Log on to DEWHVACTrainingSC.com to inquire.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
I dated a girl named Laura once, and I likened her to like an Uma Thurman type. She was very tall and lengthy. Uma Thurman was very popular back then, Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
I was young, 15, 16 years old. But I always thought of her like a kind of like an Uma Thurman character. That was my avatar for her, right? Because she was long, tall, and lanky, and then she had this, very long hair at the time. And so after a number of conversations, I felt like she could be more Uma Thurman if she would just cut her hair.
Oh, no.
So my mom cut her hair. Yeah, straight bangs. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
My mom cut her hair on the porch. Yeah. It was just.
Oh, Lord.
It was like a den of inequities going on at my house. My mom would just let anybody smoke cigarettes, like in the garage, on the porch if it was nice outside, in the garage if it wasn't nice outside.
Okay,
my dad would always be looking at her with, loving disapproval of everything that was going on in his household.
Yes.
Like, how did I lose control? Why are you letting these children smoke cigarettes?
Oh, Bill, stop. We were doing it when we were 12.
My dad's like, I didn't smoke cigarettes.
Never smoked.
No, he actually did smoke for a while, but he quit when he was very young. I'm getting concerned about the dating world because I'm starting to read about all these kids and how they're navigating the dating world, and I'm watching these television shows about the pregnancies and the 14-year-olds that are pregnant, and it's making me nervous.
Well,
not that I'm not going to,
You're probably just nervous thinking about what you were like when you were dating age.
I'm nervous that this, one day I'm going to be in the studio, like working on something, and then all of a sudden I'm going to hear this. Hey, Mr. Green, it's Frank. I'm here to take your daughter out. Woo!
Like a Jeep with no doors.
Yeah. Roll bars.
Top down,
Ed Hardy cutout shirt. Yeah.
I mean, mullets may be back in style by that point.
Who knows? The way that fashion's cyclical. That's right. You're very well. But I'm worried about, I think about some of the rules that we had when we were kids. Like, here was one of the rules when we were, and this is what I started going down the road a couple days ago.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we had this rule that you could not bring a girl into the bedroom under any circumstances. You could not be alone in your bedroom, right? If you were going to go into your bedroom, someone else had to be with you, preferably a parent, and then you certainly could not close the door.
Right, no, there was no closing the door.
Huge no-no. If they did let you go upstairs, it was with the door open, and it was for a minute, right? It was to go up and, show them the new shirt you got or something. Like, it wasn't that. And yet we still found a way to run around and fuck. And I mean, I'm just so concerned about this because I'm like, I think about the same thing my dad was probably thinking. The door's going to stay open. That way I know exactly what's going on in this house. And the truth is that, my dad would be down in the office and I'd begin to blowjob right behind the door. And my dad would be like, is the door open?
Yep.
Sure is, Dad. Oh. It sure is.
Hi, Brian. It's your mom.
Yes, Mom. Everything's fine.
The door's open.
I know. Or we just run down to the basement. That was we'd be down in the basement.
Or there were some other parents that were out of town all the time.
My God.
In high school, we used to have this one house that everybody would go to all of the time. It was this guy, and he lived with his dad.
Yeah.
And no mom was in the picture, and the dad was out of town all the time. So his house was just like the party house and where things happened.
when I was 13, 14, freshman year. I don't know how old I was. Freshman year. Our friend got his license. Phil got his license like the day that school started the freshman year, because he was one of those kids that was like, the oldest kid in the grade, right? Because you had to be, 15 the day school started or whatever it was. Yeah, the cutoff. And so he was like the
first.
He got his license the day after freshman year started. And so his mom gave him this little minivan to drive around, a Mitsubishi minivan that was basically hollowed out in the middle. It had 2 captain's chairs and a bench in the back. And it was like, he was like, I remember being there that first day. He was driving around on his own.
Like a police van?
Almost, yeah. Or a pedophile van. I'm not sure which it was, but we were 15.
Right,
we were just
like
kids
it's
ourselves.
wheels.
Yeah, it's wheels. That's right. We drove that thing around, and we went into, gas station after gas station, buying packs and packs of cigarettes, and then, we were loading up on Camel Wides. Because Camel was really good at marketing to children.
Right.
So
well, the cartoon.
Yeah, I know. Like the cartoon Camel, you find the dick in the middle, and you find the dick on the leg, and then you'd be like, see? And then they put out Camel Wides, and it was like a toy. You know what I'm saying? It was like cool to have Camel Wides. I'm smoking a wide cigarette. It's giving me more cancer.
Right.
Yeah. So it's giving me wider cancer. It's covering more of my lungs.
Right.
So no sooner do we are we in our freshman year than there comes an opportunity that only comes around in a young man's life every once in a while.
Right.
And that is that the local church is having a lock-in, right?
Ooh,
a
those
teenage
lock-ins.
lock-in.
All right.
There's going to be a bunch of chaperones, and the priests are going to be, diddling little boys in the corner or whatever the fuck they were doing. And they were going to lock you in. And then, they were going to watch movies, and you're going to be up all night,
Yes.
I don't even know because I never went, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But we had this idea that we could convince our parents, and the church was literally at the front of my neighborhood. Literally at the front of my neighborhood. You could walk from my house to this church. And we convinced our parents that this was something we wanted to do. And my dad was like, I promise you every parent was suspicious of this, right?
Exactly.
But we were going to Catholic high school. And my dad was like, you want to go to the teen life lock-in? And I was like, oh yeah, Dad. Jesus is cool, dude. Jesus, man. I want to go get some God in me. You know what I'm saying, Dad? And he was like, this sounds like a bunch of shit.
Sounds
But
like it's
okay,
not true.
it's at the front of the neighborhood. I mean, how much trouble could you get in, right? And so my dad was like, sure, absolutely. And so then everybody decided they were going to tell their parents the same thing. And my friend Phil had the car. I hope you've told your parents and you're this, and you're not listening, or they're not listening.
Phil.
But we had another friend, and his parents were much more strict. His dad was like a military guy, and his mom did not suffer bullshit. No bullshit. She was like on it. She knew everything
like
that went
the tuner.
on. Yeah,
Like,
she was like
the satellite.
the Karen of the day, right? Beep, 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 bullshit.
Right.
Beep, 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 trouble. She hated me from day one. She was like, I could just tell. When you're a kid and you can just tell the parents hate you? Yeah, I got that feeling a lot in my life.
I didn't get that.
I got that feeling from my dad most of the time, too. You didn't get that? Okay, well, I did. And so let me tell you, it's not a great feeling.
No, I can imagine.
So this friend, which I won't say his name, but this friend says to his parents, I want to go to the Teen Life lock-in this weekend, right? By the way, we have no plan on what we're going to do. We just know that we have a car.
Their car to drive around.
And a whole Friday night to ourselves, right? Without any parental supervision. What are we going to do? I don't know. Woohoo! Drive around, smoke Camel Wides. Yes. So this friend tells his mom and dad this, and the dad was out of town because I think the dad was in the military. The dad was out of town, so the mom says, no, not unless I can talk to a chaperone or one of the other parents about this because I don't believe you. I don't believe for one fucking second you want to go to the lock-in at the fucking church, right? Doesn't sound like any of you. And certainly not that Brian Green kid. It's just full of shit.
I've seen him smoking Camel Wides.
Yeah, he's got Camel Wides all over his breath. He's gotten his dick wet. I know it. And so we're all on we're all communicating about this. And he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, unless they can talk to another parent or chaperone. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking put him on the phone with my dad. It's going to all blow up at that point, right? Now we're getting nervous. To which someone replies, Brian, you're good at voices. You should just do it. And I was like, okay, sure. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, this is Mr. Peters, I'm going to be the chaperone.
Yes. My son tells me there's a lock-in this weekend at your church.
That's right, ma'am. A lock-in for Christ.
Okay, and exactly what is going to be going on?
Food and beverage, and I think we're going to do no sex. Definitely no sex, and absolutely no drugs. We will have them locked immediately in the facility.
Interesting. And where is this located?
At the church, ma'am.
I know. What part of the church?
It's going to be in the part of the church where we usually hold these things, which is in the back. Located in the back.
And where are you from? What's your story?
I'm one of the facilitators. I've been part of the church for a very long time. I'm like a priest. I'm not frocked.
Oh, very interesting. Where did you grow up?
Missouri.
Oh, I don't even know. I've never known somebody from Missouri.
It's a very nice place to visit during the summer, ma'am. Will your son be able to attend our lock-in? I'm checking off the names right now.
Like now all of a sudden I'm like, I just want to get off the phone.
Right,
She's asking questions. And she went deep. She asked like 12 more questions about my personal life. Well, not my personal life, Mr. Peters' personal life. I don't even know who Mr. Peters is. And I'm doing this fake fucking Southern accent. I'm from Chicago. And she finally goes like this. Well, I certainly appreciate you being candid. And I will talk to my son about this. Bye-bye. And I was like, oh my God, busted. Totally busted. She used the word candid in a fucking sentence. Who uses the word candid in a fucking sentence? No one, unless they know your line. Thank you for being candid, right? I was like,
Right.
oh my God. 2 hours later, we get the call. She said, yes, I can go. And I'm like, whoa.
what?
I was blown away. I'm sure I was moving in and out of the accent. I was probably doing some French, German, British accent, you know.
Right.
Hello. Hello, I'm from Missouri.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, mi amigo. Toot sweet. Toot sweet, hermana. She says yes.
Wow.
Now-
You pulled it off. Or
Well,
did you?
oh,
I haven't heard the story. I haven't
now-
heard the rest of the story.
Friday night shows up. Here we are. Everyone is going to be dropped off at the church because that's where the lock-in is.
Yeah.
We don't even know one person who's attending, nor do we know any of the chaperones. We have not signed up for shit. We don't even know where we're supposed to be dropped off at, but everyone gets dropped off at around the same time. Let's call it 6 o'clock at night on a Friday. It's like autumn, right? So it's, there's still sunlight out. And so, okay, bye,
Right.
I think it was my
Mom and
mom who
Dad.
dropped me off,
Yes.
She's like, hey, okay, do you want me to, hey, Brian, do you want me to walk in with you? And I'm like, no, Mom, it's okay. I got it. Thanks very much. I don't want to be embarrassed. You know how it is, Mom. I just want to be embarrassed. So I go and I walk up toward where the chaperones are all standing outside welcoming these, hordes of teenagers that are coming in. And then I take a right and I hide behind the tree. Yeah.
Dipped out.
I hide with my Camel Wide. I'm just smoking a Camel Wide out front of the rectory. I'm like, I hope these kids show up or I'm fucked. I'm going to sleep out in the tree. Everyone shows up. Everyone kind of does the same move. We all get in Phil's van,
Right.
at the time, and then we go, right. Along the
And
way,
they're off.
somehow we have now picked up 2 girls too, right? Girls I'm unfamiliar with, but they were girls, and we went and picked them up at some point during the evening, and now we're off,
Yeah.
and we're all just kind of driving around,
Jostling around in the back.
There's no seatbelts, no nothing. Phil's taking turns at
Smoke
60
pouring
miles
out of the window.
And by the way, the Mitsubishi van has it's low to the ground. They say they have the low ride. This is really low ride, but it wasn't because it was cool. It was because that's how it was
That's
built.
made.
It was a
Yeah.
piece of shit. It was like a wagon with an engine on it.
It was. I
and the
remember those.
engine was in in between the 2 front seats. Like you could lift up a panel and see the engine. If you ever got into an accident in a Mitsubishi minivan, you were dead because it was basically like sitting in the front of a bus.
Right.
The engine was in the back and you were in the front. And you just went flying. Anyway, so we drive around for a couple hours and now we're starting to realize we have no fucking place to stay. It is cold outside. It is getting cold outside. Like it's like, in the it's in the 50s, but in the 50s is cold.
Yeah.
So someone gets a wise idea, let's camp. Well, of course, it's raining, and we only have 1 tent, and there's 6 people, and so everyone bails except for me, the kid whose mom I spoke to, Phil, and this one young lady.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We decide to go pull up under some fucking power wires somewhere, right? And just like in a parky kind of area, but like underneath the power wires.
Yeah.
It's 12. It's midnight. The doors aren't going to open at the lock-in until 9 a.m. is when they're going to open. So we have now 9 hours to kill.
It sounded like a good idea.
It sounded like a great idea. So now it's me and Phil. If I remember correctly, it's me and Phil were sitting in the front seat, and this other kid and this girl are now making out in the back seat, right? And for and we can't turn the car on because we don't have enough gas. No one's got money to pay for the gas. That's right. So for 9 fucking hours, we're freezing cold in this goddamn Mitsubishi van, listening to somebody smack lips all night long. It's not even interesting, right? It's like, you're like, oh, sucks so much. We don't have a phone. There's no phones.
Right, no,
there's no cell phone. Yeah. There's no magazine. It's just us kind of looking at each other going, this is the stupidest fucking idea we ever had. What were we thinking?
Can't go home.
We would have
Angie could go to church.
We probably would have met some hot girls, at least had a piece of pizza and watched, Jesus Comes Lately or whatever they're playing on the fucking screen, right? We would have listened to the Teen Life band play God, oh, Jesus God, or whatever they play. And then we would have gone home. And, it was right near my house. So worst comes to worst, I just, pop a lock and head on home. Well, now I'm stuck in this fucking van for 9 hours doing nothing but listening to my friend make out with some chick I don't know.
That could have been his best night ever.
Jesus, probably was. He probably remembers that for the rest of his life. I remember it as being the coldest night I ever had in my entire life. Then we all got dropped off back in the morning, and then we all come popping back from the tree when the doors open out, and we're like, oh, hey, I think my dad picked me up, and he's like, how was it? And I'm like, kind of sucked, actually. Kind of sucked. And I think my dad knew. I think he knew. Yeah, he was like,
parents usually have a sense.
I think he said something along the lines of, sometimes it sounds a lot better than it actually is.
And that was the truth.
Oh, Dad.
So are you picturing your children doing this?
I'm picturing my children doing everything that I did, and it's scaring the shit out of me. Yes. Right? And I can only hope that they're smart enough or lucky enough or stupid enough to get away with all of the shit that I got away with. Because now there are applications.
Oh, yeah.
There are pictures. We were talking to one of our writers, and she was saying that, like, now they're sending each other nudes when they're 14 and 15 and 16 years old. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking felony. You can go to jail for that shit. You can go to jail for being the parent that looks it up and goes, hey, your son sent his cock to my daughter or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Everything is so sensitive, and it's so hard to navigate being a teenager in the first place. And now you've got all this other stuff.
Yeah, the sensory overload of just instant messaging and instant.
She was telling us that one of her kids was on that roulette, whatever that is,
chat roulette.
Chat roulette, yeah.
I have not even heard of that.
I've been on Chatterbait, which is a whole different one altogether. Chatterbait.
It sounded like chat roulette was creepy.
When we were working at Clear Channel, Chatterbait came out. Chatterbait is this app. Chat roulette is basically this app where it's you turn on your camera, and it's you, and then up pops someone randomly around the world, and then you guys can start chatting, right? But as you can imagine, this gets you into all kind of fucking trouble.
Well, right.
Especially when you're teenagers.
Son was in the room with some dude in Germany or something.
Some 62-year-old dude, and the guy had his shirt off, and he was like, welcome. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Let me see your little hushki ball.
Oh, God.
I want to see your little schmucky schmucks. Let me see your schnitzel. This is called schnitzel room. We show each other schnitzels.
God,
and so
that's scary.
It is really scary. And then I think about like taking the next step. Then there's Chatterbait. And the thing is that I can try all I want to get these. We have a son that's 2.5 years old, and he knows how to work the iPad better than I do.
Yeah.
And the tough part about growing children in this day and age is that you can't keep them away from the screens. They're everywhere. Mm-hmm. So on occasion, we will give him the iPad. We actually started taking the iPad away. We don't give him the iPad anymore, but we were giving him the iPad for 15 minutes, and he would be able to listen to Spotify and Sonos, listen to his music. That's what he wants to do. He loves his music. But he started being able to get on YouTube, and he was watching those fucking videos of the people that open the prizes, the eggs and stuff.
Those things are huge.
These people are making millions of dollars just opening up fucking toys. Opening presents. That's all they do. They open these eggs that have shit in them. Like, they speak a secret language, and they talk in weird language. They're brainwashing my child. I'm sure of it, But,
right.
And the funny thing is that these people are making these videos. They never show their faces. They only show their hands, and they are getting hundreds of millions of views a month. They're making millions of dollars. My son watching them open up a fucking egg. I can open up a fucking egg. What am I doing here at the commercial break? struggling to make $1.52. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we should start opening
eggs.
up eggs on the podcast.
The commercial break, episode 50, whatever it is, the next episode is going to be us opening up to eggs. That's it. Just eggs all day long. Oh, look, it's Mickey. Congratulations. Here you go.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings. How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
We give him this iPad, and he gets on YouTube, and I said, no with the YouTube. I'm not going to allow you to watch YouTube. YouTube is a machine that will just show you random shit, and its whole purpose is to drive you to think, to watch more, watch more.
Yes.
So I take YouTube off of the thing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Within a day and a half, he has now figured out how to get on YouTube on the internet.
Really?
He can't even spell his own name, and he knows how to get on YouTube.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm like, well, that's it. iPad's gone, but I can't protect them forever.
No.
Eventually, they're going to be there. And now you got these fucking applications like Chatterbait. Chatterbait is one purpose and one purpose only. I'm sure you can figure it out. Is a masturbation chat roulette. That's all it is, which I have been on. And during our Clear Channel days, I was a performer. I was known as 33P. This is my sign for the band. Hey. Check that out on YouTube / the commercial break. And so when we were at Clear Channel, this thing came out and I saw an article about it. And I was like, on our work computer, I was like, oh, this is probably why I got let go.
Right.
Guess who?
So I type up.
The IT guy was going to strip clubs at lunch. I remember that.
I don't want to say too much because he's an IT guy and he probably still has a locator on my phone 13 years later. But while he was a nice guy, he was the definition of an IT guy. He was like back in his little hole in the server center, watching what everyone was doing on their computers, including me, as I was scrolling through Chatterbait. And for every 22 cocks, you got one saggy tit. That was it. Or two girls that were like, would flash you and then turn it off, right? They would be onto the night. They were just fucking with people, right? And I was like, this is a stupid app. But now I'm thinking, oh my God, my children could be
watching or on there.
Either or. What does it matter? I mean, look at this guy.
I'm not a cat.
That guy is going to be known forever as I'm not the cat guy. What if my son does something stupid and it gets put on video and then forever and ever and ever, amen. That's the thing. This commercial break will live on forever somewhere. It's going to be like 9th Avenue Project. Somewhere, somehow, it's going to be on. Krissy just looked like, oh, shit. I think.
Oh, yeah.
She's
that's
like,
right.
Thank God we have not signed paperwork. Yeah, that's right. Lives forever. We should start opening up eggs. I think that's a better route to go.
I was fast forwarding like 40 years. If I should be so lucky to live, then I mean, watching this is going to be fun.
This is going to be a riot at 90.
Or we're going to be like, what were we doing?
I know. Or I'm just going to have Alzheimer's and be like, oh.
Is that me?
Is that Chatterbait? Who's that sunburnt guy? Who's that guy that looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Oh, he's the old singer from 33P, Grandpa. He's the old 33P singer, Grandpa.
Front man.
I love 33P. Still the best band that ever lived.
That's right.
Their second album, 4 Inches to Funk. For those of you who have not known, I don't want to make I oftentimes complain about podcasts doing this, so I won't do it. But 33P, 33 Willie was the name of my first band in high school. And we were talking about it a couple episodes ago, and I said, what a fucking ridiculous name. And I thought it was so important. I was just fought for it. I was like, 33 Willie, man. It's the coolest one. Don't you get it? And they're like, no, it's like a number on your t-shirt and a cock.
Where did the Willie come from?
It came from the car, Willie, like the 1933 Ford Willie.
Oh, okay.
That's the name, what it is. That's how I got 33 Willie. But no one else fucking knew that. No. And by the way, that box was sitting in our practice room. I heard his dad, like one of our band members' dads, like to like make the toy cars, like the collectible toy cars. Yeah, and I just saw it. I just saw, and also in this collection available a 33 Ford Willie. And I was like, 33 Willie. 33 cock.
That's a cool.
Yeah, that's a cool name, man. That means something. It's dramatic and sensitive. And women are going to go, wow, 33 Willie.
33.
This is the stupidest fucking name ever, and I don't know why I was so married to it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We could have been something. We could have gone somewhere.
What could have been?
We could have been if I just would have let go of the 33 Willie. It all started off wrong when we called the rec room for that first appearance, and he said, well, what's the name of your band? 33 Willie. Oh, we're gonna have fun with you. Come on in on Thursday, 3:00. By the way, I later learned that the rec room wasn't even open at 3:00. We were playing to nobody. He was just like, hey, come on in Thursday, 3:00. Because a huge crowd every Thursday. It was him and 6 of his buddies. These guys are named 33 Penis. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Check this guy. Oh, he just fell off the stage.
Oh, so dramatic.
He just fell off the stage.
Dying on the street. Did he just fall off the stage? He did. Wow, 33 Penis leaves it all out on the stage. They leave it all out there. Shoot your shot, 33 Penis. Shoot your shot.
I'm picturing this like a smoky,
yes, it is
dark.
Yeah, because you can smoke cigarettes and it's dark and just like this, the lighting back here, but there's no front lighting, and so and the guy behind the board is like, I don't give a fuck about 33 Penis. What do I fucking care about 33 Shaft and their stupid songs? It's like another Eddie Vedder wannabe, like every other asshole who comes in here, And I'm like, check. Are we doing sound check? He's like, no, you're actually 12 minutes into your 7-minute set. We got to get the next band on. 62 cock. 62 balls is coming up next. So you can get off the stage.
88 balls.
88 balls. So there I was with 33 Penis behind me. And I got my red Stratocaster. And I'm like, it's all just dramatic song.
yeah.
I mean, I'm so dramatic. When you go back and listen to those songs, the lyrics are so dramatic. Like, literally.
I really want to hear this.
I just can't let it happen. First of all, I don't have any old 33 Willie stuff. There's only one man in the world who owns that, and that's the old drummer. And he has the CD and the tape. And
I thought Kevin brought you something.
Kevin brought me a different band altogether.
Oh, you're in another band.
I don't want to mention that name because I don't even think I have the copyright to that music. So I don't want to get the hunt started because then,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to open that can of worms. Yeah. But I was the singer of that band for a while, and Kevin found an old practice tape.
Yeah.
And man, is it fucking horrific. I mean, it is just horrific. And the lyrics are just ridiculous. It's like, Brian, what were you thinking back then? Why is,
It made sense back then. It felt right.
It felt right, yeah.
From the heart or from the penis.
That came straight from the penis. In the age of bare naked ladies and Mark McGrath, one man cut through the bullshit. Brian Green and 33 Penis. Tell us what this new album's all about. It's me going back to my penis chakra and I feel like this one's more dramatic than the last one. Is that even possible? The other one is pretty dramatic, Brian. I literally wrote a song about a girl dying on the front lawn.
Oh, God.
Like she was doing heroin and died on the front lawn, and then she died on the front lawn. But I got the same reaction from everybody that heard the music. Like the one time we played the house party, it was really just 6 other people, and I think they came to hear like some house music, right? Like some party music. These guys are gonna rock, whatever, Get down, racist, sing this song, President of the United States, and then what they got was, can you turn off the lights? Can you turn off the fan light? Meanwhile, it's noon, like going in the house. We want some dramatic effect, and then Brian comes out with this bullshit, and they're like, "Wow, this is dramatic." Like, I don't know. Let's just hoping to come here and have a beer and hook up with my underage girlfriend. I don't. 33 penis has yet again dominated another conversation. So sorry.
How did we even get back on 33, Willie?
What's that? I don't know. That's what happens in the show. The new tagline is a break from reality and into absurdity.
We're living up.
We're living up to we make promises we keep here at 30. Excuse me. 33. At the commercial break. The commercial penis. Here at the commercial penis. BetterHelp.com/commercial break for 10% off your first month of therapy. Thanks for sponsoring the show today. Yes. BetterHelp.com, TCBpodcast.com. The brand new TCBpodcast.com is where you can go to find the entire media library, read show notes, find out more about Krissy and I. 470-584-8449 is where you can text us if you need a Clubhouse invite, if you want to find out more information about us, you want to share an idea for the show, whatever you want to do. Hit us up, 470-584-8449, and at The Commercial Break on Instagram. We have a link tree to all of our pertinence, all of our socials, Clubhouse, all that.
It's all out there.
Yep. Join the Commercial Break Club on Clubhouse to get access to the live shows, the shows we will be recording live in Clubhouse in the second week in April 2021, in case you're listening to this in 2026. Yeah. In case I'm listening back to this in 2050, this is happening in 2021.
Right. Good to clarify.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Oh, join the Comedy Podcast Club if you get a chance to. It's a club that I started to support comedy podcasts.
Yeah.
The whole category. Yeah. A lot of cool people are joining that too. And there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of great stuff coming up. Mm-hmm. And if you want to know about it, probably the best place to learn is on social media at The Commercial Break. There's only so much we can get into here in the show, and I don't want to make it 15 minutes of show liners. So that's it. Well, thanks. It's been another fantastic episode about my penis.
Yes.
And who's going to argue with that? No. I love you.
I love you.
Until next time. Bye. Bye.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Looking for a new career? Welcome to Do HVAC Training Service Center in North Charleston. Enroll today in our comprehensive HVAC training hands-on field experience-based program, covering troubleshooting, maintenance, installation, and more on various HVAC systems and ductwork. We offer EPA and NAEP preparation and testing, along with various certifications. Enjoy payment options. Achieve certification in under 5 months. Enroll now for your new journey of skill development and career advancement. Log on to DEWHVACTrainingSC.com to inquire.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSU-FCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
The Commercial Break. New episodes on Tuesdays and now Fridays. New YouTube clips drop daily at youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Visit tcbpodcast.com for access to our entire media library. Follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram and join the Commercial Break Club on Clubhouse to join in live recordings. Each episode is written and produced by Brian Green, co-hosted by Krissy Hoadley, with additional content provided by Tina Cano.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSU-FCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.